So take us down the path of, a little bit of your alcohol fun and
Yeah,
what led you to stop and how.
I really liked alcohol. I was good at it. And I remember there was a time in my 20s where I just took a quick break. I thought, am I drinking too much? My dad was an alcoholic. He drank a 12 pack every day. It was like an everyday thing. And I never knew when he was drunk. He was just always drinking beer, and that's what he did.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I remember I took a break from drinking, and I told my buddy who I just met after I stopped drinking. I told my buddy all these crazy drunk stories, and he goes, "Man, I feel like I just missed the fun, Joe." I was like, "Oh man, that sucks. I don't want to hear that." Um, but no, so I started drinking again when I moved. I moved back to Arizona and from Colorado. And when I moved back, I started hanging out with my old buddies, and I was drinking, and it was life of the party again. And then
Mhm.
my first son showed up, and I wasn't drinking as much. Things had changed, but I still felt I was on head meds. I didn't. I was very depressed. I wasn't just wanting life to get better. I just wanted it to be over. It was like I was counting down
Mm.
for time to get done. It was like, and it was this crappy. I didn't fantasize about it, but I had suicidal thoughts that just played in the back of my head like elevator music. Like it's all I thought about. And I
Weird.
wasn't. Yeah, and yes, it was like wherever I went, I knew how I could end it. If I go here, there's a tall building. If I go
Wow.
home, I have a firearm. There was like if I'm driving, I can like it was, and I don't know why this was, but
That's
for 10
interesting.
years, for 10 years, my wife harped on me about food. She goes, food might be the reason why you're so depressed. I know you've been on these head meds, and I know you're seeing the shrinks and the psychiatrists and everyone. They're giving you the medicine, but maybe it's food. But my wife's not a doctor, and so I didn't listen to her for 10 years. And then
We
yeah,
never listen to our wives.
yeah, I know until we have to. Yeah, and then when my
Right?
youngest son showed up and he started eating solid foods as a little guy, we found out he was celiac. So we had to get rid of gluten. And gluten is in everything that tastes good. So
Everything.
everything, like God, everything. I
Everything.
used
Yeah.
to eat cereal nonstop. Like cereal was my staple. I couldn't have gluten in the house, and I wasn't going to be that guy that was like, "There's daddy's food, there's the kids' food," right?
Right.
Like if the
Yeah.
kids are being healthy, daddy needs to be
Mhm.
healthy. And it was after 6 months of eating gluten free and being a real asshole to my wife. Like I wasn't purposely being mean, but it was like,
Right.
I used to say stuff like, well, I guess I'll just go to sleep so I can dream about the stuff that I like to do. Right. And I was like, what the hell are you talking
Yeah.
about? There was like, after 6 months of not eating gluten, I started to wean myself off of the head meds and started to like join a gym and started to get healthy. And I was like, wow, maybe food was the reason. Maybe she was right.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's crazy how much food we learned a lot about the food and what you eat when we had a guy named Nate Palmer on the show, a physical health guru. There were like breads, and whole foods and stuff. Like I always knew about that kind of thing, but I didn't really
Yeah.
understand it.
Right.
So when we had Nate on, it's like, holy shit, that's amazing. So we had stopped, Nikki and I had stopped doing the breads for a while, probably about a month or so, just to see the dynamic of the change with it. And still to this day, we're not heavy into the breads anymore. I still do burritos, homemade burritos and stuff from time to time. My daughter makes some fantastic tortillas, but for the most part, it's not a daily occurrence with tons of bread and because the way it makes you feel is crazy,
I
and
had
you
no
don't
idea.
realize. Right, that's what I'm saying. You don't realize what it's doing to your body until you
Yeah.
stop,
Yeah, and
and you have to
just like
stop for
not
long
having a
enough
hangover,
time.
I was never
Mhm.
overweight. So I never thought food was my issue. I was like, well, I'm not a fat guy. Food's fine, right?
Yeah,
I can eat
yeah,
whatever I
yeah,
want. I used to say that shit all the time.
Well, I think to
yeah.
Chris's point, we didn't understand for a long time, and to your point that the food we were putting in our body is what was causing the inflammation.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we were overdoing, in some cases, sure, you're overdoing it, especially for you guys. When
I
you
was.
work out too much, when you've pushed it too hard, but you would have never dreamed in a million years until the last probably 5 or 10 years when science caught up with medicine
Right.
that food was actually causing these problems.